Have you not heard about all the dissatisfaction, sexual harassment, discrimination, low payment, and all other issues? And you are still taking Uber? Well, I have been taking Uber for about a year and I have never had those problems. Uber CEO Mr. Kalanick has made his company one of the largest private-owned tech firms in America. He even pushed Uber into new markets outside of US and gained his company a valuation of $70 billion. However, Uber is now experiencing what he called the biggest crisis in its history. According to an article from CNBC, Uber is now facing intellectual property battles as well as being accused over 200 harassment claims. Besides that, drivers are less willing to drive for Uber because of insufficient income. What's more, Uber is now having trouble classifying their drivers as either independent contractors or employees. With this many problems Uber is facing, I am here to propose some solutions so that both drivers and riders can be satisfied. By State of California Department of Industrial Relations definition, independent contractors provide their own equipment, in this case, private-owned cars. They also control their working time and make earnings depend on their managerial skills. In opposite, the company supplies equipment for employees and give them workers' benefits, which protect workers under retaliation, wage, and hour laws. That being said, if Uber drivers are hired as employees, they will receive full health insurance and legal protection. That's pretty nice, huh? Firstly, Uber is not able to provide cars for drivers. Also, 32% of drivers have studied full-time job alongside. In other words, the extra workers' benefit for those part-timers will just be a waste. But how about the full-timers? They do need legal protection. Well, just as was said previously, Uber has very little fund for any other investments. These additional costs might be added to regular trip fare, resulting in less people willing to take Uber. Here's a graph of Uber drivers earning from 3 selected cities. After cutting out taxes and expenses, the net hour income in Detroit and Houston are below $10 per hour. Denver is slightly above 10. In fact, Uber has already modified some core ways to improve drivers' wage, a program known as the 180 Days of Change. Drivers will earn more for long pickups, traffic, and cancellation. New tipping feature is also added. Since it has only been put into practice in very few areas, the majority of the drivers are still yearning for higher wages. But didn't you just say there will be less people willing to take Uber if the fare is too high? The trip fare will only be raised when specific occasion applies. If the rider chooses a time with no traffic and get picked up on time, there will be no additional charge. But if you want to tip drivers, that's on you.
It's a very quick process which needs to be a little bit more intensive. Apply online. They get back to you with an email, and then you go and you take your stuff into them at a center where they check out your car. That's it. You're in, you're out, you're gone.
Apparently, the process to become an Uber driver is not that extensive. Just as mentioned earlier, Uber is investigating 215 claims, which included 47 sexual harassment, 45 discriminations, 33 bullying, and etc. Uber has even fired 20 drivers under the investigation's findings. While the majority are calling for a more detailed background check, some drivers might not be contented. 23 years ago, Eric Scott was charged with dangerous weapon, but it was continued without a finding and dismissed. And 2 other charges of property damage in 2001 were also dismissed.
I'm not a convicted felon. I can vote. I can work. I have no charges pending against me.
So, should we still perform a more detailed background check with a risk of disqualifying some innocent drivers? When there are over 200 cases of harassment but only a few disqualified drivers, the benefit of more detailed background check absolutely outweighs that of the drivers. Yes, Uber is definitely facing a lot of big problems, but instead of avoid taking it, here are my 3 solutions. For rider safety, Uber should perform a more detailed background check on drivers to prevent further harassments. For drivers, they should receive higher wages and continue to be hired as independent contractors.
Everything right?
Yes. All right, thank you. Thank you for watching.